Okay, now financial stress can seriously affect mental health, leading to anxiety and depression. So what is the link between debt and mental well-being among young people, and what can be done to address this? Well, somebody who knows about this is a debt counsellor, Paulvia Shiburi. She joins me now in studio. Paulvia, welcome to today, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me here.
What prompted you to be a debt counsellor? Can we start there?
There were a lot of, when I started, I worked at a debt counseling company. It was one of the biggest debt counseling companies then. And I actually pretty much saw how the process actually helped a number of people that were over indebted. And I think also I was also over indebted myself at that time. And I knew that there was a route that we could take for South Africans to get out of debt.
So those lessons in that work environment led you to say, I want to share my journey, your journey,
yes,
with others to help other people.
To help them as well, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what you are willing to share, but how tough was it? Because cost of living is very high. Interest rates have been going up and up. We don't know what Lisisha Kanyako and the MPC are going to do next month. Inflation is not really going down at the moment.
True.
Petrol might be going down this Wednesday a little bit, but it's just been a tough year for many people, specifically young people. If you've got debt, it's hard.
You know, it's true. Inflation has gone up, and the repo rates have gone up as well. I think twice, if not 3 times this year. You know, so obviously everything, when the repo rate goes up, the prime interest rate is also affected. This means that we actually get to pay more than what we normally used to. And that's only because of, you know, the South African Reserve Bank are just trying to sort of like stabilize the economy and the inflation as well.
They have to keep inflation between 3 and 6%. That's
exactly
their mandate. But young people through this difficult, what are you seeing? I mean, because you got debt and this financial stress, it can be distressing, and mental well-being.
When a number of people that come to us, firstly, for debt counseling, is that we pick up that a lot of them do have mental issues or mental health problems, such as depression, anxiety, because really the journey or the process of being over indebted is not an easy one. And you find that a lot of people are overwhelmed. They don't know who to talk to. They don't have the right support structure, either from their families, from the credit provider as well, and even us as debt counselors, you know. So a lot of people are affected. They are not able to manage their debts, and also manage you know, they have a stable or a sober you know, mindset, because there's literally a lot going on. Having to pay a lot for your debts and not being able to provide for your family, that's also one of the things that we pick up as well. So most of them end up having mental health issues.
Now, you are not a psychologist,
no,
but you are a debt counsellor,
yeah,
but people will have you to talk to. That's where you pick up this. I mean, what do you advise them to do, in addition to, of course, finding ways to pay off the debt?
One of the most important things that we are really working on is that we've noticed that a lot of people that apply for debt counseling do need help psychologically to manage the process as well. So we picked up that just debt counseling alone is not enough, and that is why we're now launching to partner up with certain clinics and associations where they can also assist the current clients that we have get out of, you know, be in a better position psychologically to be able to get out of debts, because it does take commitment, it does take a discipline to get out, but you also need to have the right support structure. And that's where you know, having partnering up with certain institutions that can help them in the psychological way of getting psychological part of the process, that will also help a lot. So
you'll deal with the numbers, and you'll find a partner to deal with the mental well-being side.
We deal with the numbers.
But you as a debt counsellor, you also have to be empathetic.
True. I mean, one thing that I always do, I mean, there's only so much that you can do as a debt counselor. Remember that we can't provide any other support except for the financial mediation that we are doing for the consumers. But also, it's important that the consumers are able to reach us at all times when they want to speak to someone. You may find that a consumer will send you a message on at 3 a.m. not because of they just want to talk, but because they're really in a space where they are alone now. Their thoughts, you can't run away from your thoughts. So there's a lot going on, and when you are available for such people, it also shows that this is the part that we can do. We can't just help you only with dates, but we are there for you. We are there to support you throughout the process.
So empathy means you have to have a listening ear. So you provide that as well at 3 a.m. in the morning.
At 3 a.m. and you know what? It's not something very easy. But when you assist a client, you assure them that I'll be there with you, because we're not just talking about numbers. We want you to.
It's a person and his families and his lives here. Have you seen a worsening of situation when it comes to debt exposure by young people that come and see some of your clients? Are you seeing things are getting better at all, or people are stuck, or are people finding better ways to get out of debt?
It depends. There are a lot of people that have done the debt counseling process that have gotten out and exited the process properly, and they are now in a much better financial position. But there are still a few numbers that are still lacking, because there is not, I would say, enough commitment, enough discipline, but also the economy is not making it easy for them as well. It's not that they don't want to commit to their debt obligations or their monthly obligations, but it's also because times are getting really tough now, and you may find that they're not really in a position to continue with making those payments even under debt counseling. This is where now we have to look at other alternatives, of course, looking at maybe selling the assets, which is one of the most difficult, I think, one of the things that a person can
because
do.
we get attached to our assets and our possessions, and it's difficult that I need to let go because of this issue. But it might just be the only option. Numbers-wise, do you see more young people trying to get out of debt? And in terms of numbers, when you look at the landscape, are more young people really succeeding to get out? And what are the lessons for them that you can impart?
We see a lot of numbers of, which is quite alarming, a lot of young people getting into debts. And primarily that's because, after you graduate, you get your first job. You just want to reward yourself, for studying for so long. You're getting that vehicle, you're getting that house prematurely without actually thinking of what does the whole debt process entail, and can I be able to sustain this in the long run? So you find a lot of people are getting into debt, that they didn't even plan for, that they didn't even, budget for, and which is quite alarming, because I think at this stage, we look at people who still don't even have, I would say, families to take care of at that time, but you find them that they're actually over-indebted more than the elderly people that we currently have.
Okay, and thank you very much for your time and your insights. That's Paulvia Shiburi, a debt counsellor, just sharing some of the insights, what she's seeing in the marketplace currently in terms of debt exposure, especially of young people, and the impact it has on their mental health. And they partner with professionals in that space so they can refer clients to the appropriate psychologist.